What's up, guys? We're going to get into how to optimize skin quality. So we're going to attack this from every angle, and we'll start off with collagen and elastin. So the holy trinity here is GHKCU, ideally topical because it'll have just, everything will be going towards the face. And we also don't 100% know whether it has catabolic effects when used injectably, but yeah, topical would be ideal. Get a formulation that has, good absorption, 5 to 10 milligrams every day on the face, and maybe the neck as well. Microneedling, 1 millimeter depth every 6 weeks. So you don't need to do it often at all. So if you do it too often, then you're not actually going to let the deep tissues heal properly, and you're going to cause potentially more harm than good. Definitely don't go below 4 weeks, but ideally 6. And then tretinoin, 0.05% every 1 to 2 days on the face. So obviously we have tretinoin upregulating collagen, and then we have microneedling causing collagen and elastin benefits. But these do it more from a hormetic point of view, so causing damage and then the body adapts, whereas GHKCU does this more in terms of changing things at the gene level to pretty much upregulate different collagen and elastin genes. So it's not working hormetically, it's not causing a stress that the body adapts to, it's just directly upregulating genes. And we don't have a ton of outcome data to suggest that GHKCU is better than these other two. These other two are certainly the tried and true outcome-wise, but mechanistically it is promising. So I think these are the 3 best options if you really just want to upregulate collagen and elastin as much as you can. Second off, sun exposure. So sun exposure is the worst thing you can possibly do for your skin in terms of collagen and elastin. UVA causes more photoaging, more short-term tanning via melanin oxidation, and then UVB causes more DNA damage and sunburn, more long-term tanning via melanogenesis. And we have to address this myth here. So I've heard people say that the red light and near-infrared light from the sun somehow prevents or counteracts the UV-based aging. No, this is a myth. So any benefits you're going to get from the red light and the near-infrared light, which do exist, they do have some benefits. They're going to be 1% of the damage that will be done as a result of UV exposure. And so where do we go from here? Tanning. So some people want to be tan. I've been tanning recently, but doing it in a smart way. So we have 2 options here. Minimize aging at all costs. This means you avoid the sun like the plague, don't get any UV exposure on your face unless you're wearing broad spectrum sunscreen. So if you don't care about being pale, I would suggest just don't show yourself to the sun unless you're wearing sunscreen. It's simply not worth it because any tiny amount of sun exposure is doing at least some level of damage. It's not going to be significant and noticeable right away, but it is speeding up aging. Now, option 2, get tan, but with minimal aging. So tan for short periods of time at midday, as this is when UVB to UVA ratio is highest. So this is a common misconception. People say that you should tan like in the morning or in the afternoon, and really that's not how it should be. So UVB spikes very acutely at midday, whereas UVA is always fairly high. So what this means is UVB, if we have a high proportion of it, that's going to lead to less photoaging compared to the tan that we get, because it's causing melanogenesis-based tanning, which is going to persist for a longer period of time, and it's going to penetrate less deep into the dermal layers and cause less long-term photoaging. So it's actually better to, for example, tan for a short period of time at midday than to tan for a longer period of time, but at the morning or the afternoon, even if we're equating UV exposure in totality. Now, necessities. Melanotan 2. Obviously, if you don't want to be tan at all, you can opt out of this, but I assume most people want to be tan, especially if they're Caucasian. 250 micrograms every 1 to 2 days. So what isn't commonly known is that there's not really much point going over 250 micrograms. So higher doses are going to reach huge diminishing returns in terms of receptor occupancy at the melanocortin 1 receptor. So say we do like 500 micrograms, we're only getting maybe an extra 20 to 30% benefit. So you'd be much better off just injecting this actually more frequently at a dose like this, because how it works is it's a very short half-life. It's only a few hour half-life, but then that causes genomic changes that upregulate melanin synthesis across multiple days. So you never really want to go past 250 micrograms in one dose, otherwise you're kind of wasting it. Second off, astaxanthin. This is the absolute best thing you can take if you're going to get any sun exposure willingly and try and tan. Astaxanthin is the #1 antioxidant that will reduce oxidation in your skin. So this will quite robustly reduce UV-based aging more than any other compound you can take. 25 milligrams per day, it's a high dose, but astaxanthin doesn't really seem to have a ceiling effect where it starts to have negative side effects. So yeah, this is going to be the most important thing that you invest in. Now, vitamin E is another potent antioxidant that is lipophilic, so it works in the skin. 400 IU 2 to 3 times per week. If you go too overboard, it does seem to have some negative outcomes on health, so I would suggest to keep it at this. This combo of these two will hugely reduce UV-based oxidative stress and overall damage. Others, you can add niacinamide serum 1 time per day, vitamin C 1 gram per day, or vitamin C serum 1 time per day. Now, acne and sebum production. So, like we went through on the first slide, tretinoin is a great option for this. 0.05% every 1 to 2 days. If this isn't sufficient, then do Accutane instead. Don't take both. So Accutane, 10 milligrams to 50 milligrams per day. There's a pretty big range. It's going to depend on a few factors, and you should probably maybe talk to a dermatologist if you're considering using it, because Accutane is a pretty nuclear solution and it does come with risks. Dutasteride if you are using androgens. Yes, I wouldn't recommend using dutasteride just for the purpose of acne, but if you're also using anabolic steroids, it's something to consider. Probably not finasteride, because dutasteride is going to inhibit type 1 5-alpha reductase much stronger, which is the main thing that is implicated in skin. Now we have clascoterone, 1% 1 time per day. So this is an anti-androgen that seems to only work in skin. So this is I think it's a pretty new compound, and yeah, it's pretty effective. It might be hard to get your hands on, but it's good for simply really antagonizing the androgen receptors simply in your skin so that sebum production is hugely halted. Then we have autophagy and senolysis. So a few times a year, perform a 5-day fast or fasting mimicking diet. Take 1500 milligrams of ficitin 2 times per day, 500 milligrams quercetin 2 times per day, a tablespoon of olive oil to facilitate absorption whenever you're taking these. So, twice a day or whatever you want. And then optional low-calorie vegetables like iceberg lettuce or cucumber, just because, so oil and then fibrous vegetables like these, they are not going to have any kind of protein or insulin response really, and that is really what we'd be looking out for, especially protein, because we want to keep mTOR inhibited in order to activate autophagy. So yeah, a very light fasting mimicking diet or a 5-day fast combined with these two senolytic agents is a great way to pretty much kill a bunch of senescent cells, a bunch of damaged cells, and yeah, just doing this a couple times per year can have huge anti-aging effects on skin and overall your entire body. So you put all that together and we have a pretty holistic approach to keeping your skin young, looking good, looking clear, and keeping it rich in collagen and elastin. Now, androgenic protocol, this is the transformation that I've gone through the past 5 years, and I've been able to optimize myself pretty much in every single category. If this interests you, if you want to have a transformation similar to how I did, then check out the description. I have the androgenic protocol, which is pretty much a full course I have on a bunch of different areas, teach you pretty much everything I know. And then you also get access to a community where you can talk to me and other, people that are very interested in transforming themselves in the community. So yeah, if that interests you, go ahead. Apart from that, I hope you'll be able to keep your skin nice, juicy, clear, and have a good one.